I'm Daniel Madison, and this is the MacMillan transposition. A few years ago, I offered a tutorial teaching how to do this using duplicates. The most beautiful thing about this version of the trick is that you can do it with any two playing cards, no duplicates necessary. We place the deck aside and keep hold of two playing cards. Apparently, the secret is hidden in plain sight. It is a random card hiding behind one of these cards. The Ace of Spades is never seen, and we end completely clean. Here's how it works. We have the Ace of Spades hidden behind the Nine of Clubs. Hold them like this. This will help you turning that King of Diamonds over. We're going to grab the King of Diamonds here, place it down. Now we're going to come back for the two cards. This has to just look like it's a Nine of Clubs. Two fingers, 1 and 2 on the inner corner, thumb on the back, like so. We hold it like this so that we can turn that king face down like this. So from here, here, here. As soon as the king's face down, I turn the 9 down like this, face down, and pass it over to this hand like so. In that moment, I stole the 9 of Clubs in a Tenkai steal. And here's how that works. So that's the reason why we hold it like this from the start. So king face down, Tenkai steal. As it turns face down, not at this point, but when it's right the way back here so nobody can see this, we push the thumb across the back card so the Ace of Spades slides forward, and then fingers 1 and 2 force the 9 of Clubs up into the palm, between the thumb and the clunge of the palm, like this, so that it's held now in a Tenkai palm. And this happens as we're placing the Ace of Spades into the other hand, like this. So at full speed. So following that, king down, Tenkai steal, wait for a moment. Now we're going to come and turn this card over. As we do this, we bring our hand back towards the edge of the table with the Ace of Spades. Now time for the MacMillan switch. With the 9 of Clubs held like this in a Tenkai palm, we're going to go and turn this card over, and it's going to look like we're turning it over like this. This is what it needs to look like. The 9 of Clubs is in a Tenkai palm, so when we bring our fingers in, we're going to clip the inner corner between fingers 1 and 2 like this. So finger 1 on the back, finger 2 on the front, so it's clipped like this, right at the fingernails, fingertips. So we manipulate the back corner of the 9 to slide on the table, going underneath the king, like this. The thumb stretches over to the side of the king to stop it sliding away. And as we lift everything up, the king naturally pops up into a Tenkai palm. And then we can just extend fingers 1 and 2, turning the 9 face up. Now that you can see what's going on, the king is here, the 9, ready for the switch, and the turnover looks like this. Notice the now palmed King of Diamonds is at the edge of the table. Your hand naturally comes back. It has to come back to achieve that move. So it lifts it up and back. Watch the journey that the king makes. It goes towards the edge of the table, exactly where our hand is holding that Ace of Spades. As that King of Diamonds makes its way back, so we have this, the Tenkai steal, the MacMillan switch. Now as the King of Diamonds comes back, I'm going to kick the Ace of Spades off the table onto my lap, and I'm simply going to let this card fall into my hand. And now I can turn this over to show that the cards have switched places and my hands are empty. Ace behind 9, king on top, king down, turn it over, Tenkai steal, wait for a moment, MacMillan switch, and then turn this over. This trick has been designed so the audience, your participant, is looking at all the right places at all the right times. They're never going to see a single thing. So if we break this down and talk about attention manipulation, first of all, we're putting the king down, and we're apparently not touching it again until we turn it over. We're holding everything very carefully. If I'm just holding the 9 at the very corner like this, there's not much I can do with it in the mind of the participant. So we turn the king over really carefully. They know it's the king, right? There's no way I could have switched that at that moment. Now I'm passing the 9 over to this hand. Apparently, the motivation, the justification, should I say, for this is that I'm making my right hand empty so that I can turn over the king of diamonds, and I'm holding the 9, apparently the 9, in plain sight with nothing to hide. Now I'm turning this over in a way that the participant sees it before anybody else, making it seem to be much fairer than it actually is. Now, everyone's looking at the action at the moment. They're not looking at the non-action, right? They're looking at this. So my action now is turning the card over. So they follow my right hand. So they're looking at my right hand, and what do they see? They see a change. So they're looking at this playing card. No one's looking back here as I do the most difficult move. So as soon as they've seen this card and they register, where do their eyes go next? Straight to this card. So I make sure, watch your participant when you do this. If you're watching their eyes, make sure that you turn this over when they look at it, not before, because you want it to register in their mind. You want them to discover this on their own without you saying, look what's happened. So to make that make sense, king here, very fair. Switch, the 9 is very held in plain sight, very open, very fair, nothing to hide. Turn this over, they're looking at this thinking that was the king. So what's in his hand? And as soon as they look here, I turn over, look at my hands. I've naturally got open hands because I've got nothing to hide. And the switch is complete and everything can be inspected. Bear in mind, this is any 2 cards in the deck. So you can have 2 participants, one sign one sign the other, and you've got a perfect transposition between 2 signed playing cards and nothing to hide. Apart from the lap tastes page, which no one's going to see. There's a link in the video description to MacMillan Madness, in which I teach the MacMillan switch in great detail and a few other wonderful things that you can achieve with the MacMillan switch. It's Dan MacMillan's switch, so all credit to him, all thanks to him. I'm not sure if I've seen it used the way that I've just used it as a transposition before. I'll be back soon with some more tutorials and some long overdue, highly anticipated street performances. That was the MacMillan transposition. I'm Daniel MADISON. See you next week.